Morning. I didn't know what I was going to talk about first, but since I could switch between pictures. So, this is Mr. Diddy's spread this year. And he has a seven of clubs in Saturn, which is the card of scandal and humiliation. It is the card of humiliation in that position. It's humiliation. So, the interesting thing is anytime I look at that card, when I think about humiliation that comes along with that card, that could potentially come along with that card, I think about Bill Clinton because he's a seven of clubs, right? So when he had his scandal, and in particularly it was a sex scandal, everybody talked about Monica Lewinsky, the dress, the this on the dress, like it was real salacious, right? And that is usually the type of humiliation or scandal that comes along with that card. It usually has something to do with something sexual or whatever the case may be. But when I say that, and Saturn can describe your punishment, by the way. You know what I mean? Like the card in Saturn could describe your punishment. You might as well say it's punishment because it deals with cause and effect. It deals with karma. It deals with, how your karma would be doled out on you. You know what I mean? And so his punishment this year um, was the seven of clubs. It's the seven of clubs. So that is, people talking about him, humiliating him. We're talking about Diddy. Him being publicly humiliated because Saturn represents the 10th house, which is the public, right? So this is like public humiliation, right? And it's humiliation that's directed at a certain group of people at that, right? It's like it attracts a certain group of people who are going to talk about it, you know? So as you notice, all of these things that are coming out about him, um, all of the little details, the baby oil and all that other stuff, that wouldn't have happened to anybody else under or any other circumstances. But for the fact that his humiliation is being evoked, you know what I mean? It says a lot about how karma is distributed and how karma occurs. You know what I mean? Because it's wild, you know? It's really, really, really wild. But the crazy thing is, he has a 10 of diamonds. Let me see, where's this 10 of diamonds at? His 10 of diamonds is in, Mercury, Venus, Mars. He also has a 10 of diamonds in Mars. 10 of diamonds is the card of celebrities, right? So this is going to impact the whole industry. This is not just his humiliation. You know what I mean? Karmically, this is the humiliation of a lot of people. That's why the 10 of diamonds is there. So this is sending earthquakes. It really is sending earthquakes through the entire industry on all levels. You got to understand that Diddy is a Scorpio, right? And what Scorpios do is they're a sign that some type of major transformation or change is going to take place. You know what I mean? Like literally our current president is a Scorpio, right? Biden is a Scorpio. So even Biden being president is indicative that some type of major change is going to occur as a result or after him, right? He's leaving his mark. This is how Scorpios leave their mark. Scorpios leave their mark by bringing change, like changing and disrupting something. You know what I mean? Being used by the universe, being used by the spirits and whatever to evoke transformation. So that is what he's doing. Diddy transformed the industry. Bad Boy transformed the industry. And it's still not finished. He's still transforming the industry. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is, this is why I love astrology, and this is why I love what I do, and I love cardology, because there is a blueprint to this. You can predict this stuff. You know what I mean? If you'd have had an astrologer years ago, or a cardologer years ago, a cardologer or astrologer would have been able to tell you that this was coming. This was coming, right? It would have been able to tell a lot of people, this is coming. This is what's coming down the pipeline. If you don't change now, in 7 to 8, 9, 10 years, this is coming down the pipeline. That's priceless. But yet, y'all want to be out here buying Cybertrucks and Birkin bags, and women buying this, paying for stupid shit, when you could be paying for your peace of mind. You know what I mean? Because everybody's not perfect. Yes, people are going to do some things. You're going to be tempted. You're going to be enticed, especially when you get into the industry. You're going to get into the industry. You're going to be around people, like he is. And particularly, he was around very powerful white folks, very powerful Jewish folks, right? That have been able to get away with things for eons. And namely because they're usually not so forthright with it. You know what I mean? We get shit and we just start, balling out, putting it all out there. You know what I mean? And this, that, and the third. And they have a different way of doing things. Right? So these people, they get in the industry and they see these things, and these people become their father figures too, because these are people who didn't have a father, if they did, they didn't have a good father or a good father figure or whatever. So these people in the industry, these executives, these whatever, they become their father figures. They become their guides and stuff like that, right? Meanwhile, these people got astrologers. You know what I mean? They have astrologers. And you walking around in the dark thinking that, you could just pray to Jesus and everything's going to be okay. It's not like that, baby. It's not like that at all. We live in a very magical world. You know what I mean? So the thing is, I think that Pluto and Aquarius is setting up people to be wiser, to be smarter, to be more empowered, and to understand the laws of karma, to understand that character is important, and balance, even more important, is balance. All of these things that come in your life, alcohol, drugs, sex, or whatever, these are all things that will eventually knock you off your balance. You know what I mean? So you get a little bit of weed here. You start with a little bit of weed. You start out with a little bit of alcohol. And then it grows to a lot of alcohol because you get stressed out. You know what I mean? You're under so much pressure and under so much stress that it grows. It grows to a lot of alcohol. It grows to different drugs. It grows to a lot of different drugs. Then your whole life is out of control. You know what I mean? Out of control. So this is an impact to the industry. This is a lesson to the entire industry. And this is going to affect the entire industry economically. Even the women. You know what I mean? So you have the women who do chase these kind of men. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, because they have money and they're wealthy. And it's an age-old thing that you have women lined up that will want to be with these wealthy, so-called influential monsters. You know what I mean? And they'll do anything. Change their bodies, alter their bodies. I bet you cosmetic surgery is going to take a huge dip within the next 2 to 3 years. The BBLs, the boob jobs, all of these things are going to go out of style. You know what I mean? So, and it's not to say that all of the women that get that now is because of the men in the industry, but that's where it started. It started in the industry. It started with trying to catch a wealthy man or, look like a trophy on a wealthy man's arm. This is changing all of that. Because when a wealthy man goes down in flames and up in scandal, you will go right with him. Your career, your reputation, when you could have had a career and a reputation as a business person, as a businesswoman, or whatever, now your face is being plastered all over, as potentially a sex worker or this or that. And you got to work really hard to rebuild your reputation because you attached yourself to someone whose reputation was not good on the inside. At the end of the day, all of this is about character and the distinction of character. Character and money don't necessarily mix. You know what I mean? It's to say you're rich and you don't have to have character. And ultimately, that's what this is all about. Even the other three of diamonds, Donald Trump. Donald Trump's character has been identical to this. Donald Trump has done these very same things to women. And you think because he managed to slip into presidency during a time when America was asleep and suffering from a pandemic, during the time when Neptune was kicking our asses and most people ain't have half a sense in their head, he was able to slip into presidency. You think that he can do it again. The joke's on you. And you want to make up all kinds of excuses, all kinds of things you want to say about Kamala, right? All types of things you want to say about her. You're just looking for something to pull out. And honestly, this woman has built a reputable career. She has. She's made mistakes and she's admitted it. She's admitted it. She was as heavy-handed as she could be as a prosecutor because she's a woman and you got to be. If you're a woman and you become a prosecutor and you're weak, they're just going to say you're weak as a woman, point blank, which is what people are trying to say about her now. But here you are looking at these men that you thought was powerful and you won't call them weak. You won't call Donald Trump weak. You won't call Diddy weak. Because that's just men behavior. But it's weak. This is what weakness looks like. This is what weakness looks like. Admit it. Your concept of strength has got to change. Many of you got mommy problems, mommy issues. And you attributed the fact that you knew instinctively that your mom is strong, that your mother is the strongest one here. You knew that. But when your mom failed to live totally up to your expectations, you were able to put all of that negative energy on the mother. Thus, it passed on to women in your life. And even women do it. But you excused your absent father. You excused your emotionally unavailable father. You excused your father in general. And instead, you put all of your angst on your mother. Because deep down, yes, you knew your mother was the strong one. But strong does not mean that you can't fall. Strong does not mean that you're not going to make mistakes. And that is the thing with women. We're not allowed to make mistakes. We're not. Because the people who forgive the mistakes are women. And we don't forgive ourselves. But we forgive men over and over and over of mistakes. If we didn't, there would be no abuse. There would be no continued abuse in relationships. Abuse exists because you forgive them and they do it again. And you forgive them and they do it again. But you refuse to forgive yourself, and you refuse to forgive your mother. Period. The mother gets no forgiveness. None. So, all of this is designed for all of us. It is. It's your business. It's my business. It's all of our business. Because things have got to change. Things have got to change. Your concept of strength has got to change. If you cannot see women as strong, you'll never see yourself as strong. And you will never prosper if you cannot see yourself as strong. That is it. Occasionally, there are men that come in that know women are strong and try to push that out of them. Try to uphold that. They know you strong. You know what I mean? Occasionally there are men like that. There are even men that beat down women, but will see a woman they can't beat down and then encourage her to continue to be strong and support her in the strength. I've seen it. I've seen it. So there are a couple of conversations here, a lot of conversations here that need to be had, like words that need to be spoken. Because a change is going to happen regardless, whether you want it to happen or you don't want it to happen. A change is going to happen because and sparked by all of this. Imagine the scenarios now in the entertainment industry where there's a man and a woman and all of that. He has to think about this shit now. He got to think about the idea that this could lead to his downfall. He has to think twice, 3 times, 4 times before walking down the same path as these Gen X men were walking down at one point. The whole entire industry is going to change. It is. Boundaries, which is Diddy's, what is it? Diddy's Venus card. Boundaries. He is laying the foundation for boundaries to exist in the industry now. Boundaries on both sides. It's going to be boundaries with men. It's going to be boundaries with women. Everybody's going to be holding their boundaries now. Men are going to tighten up their boundaries now and think twice about some of the things that they've done in the past that was just acceptable. These things are no longer acceptable. They may have been acceptable at one time because you are wealthy and you thought that you could have this and you can do this and you're going to get away with it. They're going to know. Eventually it's going to catch up to you. Karma has no expiration date, my friend. None. And the reason that I do feel empathic for some of these people, I even feel empathic for Diddy. Hell, I feel empathic at times for Bill Cosby. Because these used to be somebody's sons one day, and they went through some shit that, and they didn't have the leadership, the proper leadership to show them what was right and wrong for a man. You know what I mean? And they got into the entertainment industry and they got surrogate fathers in the entertainment industry that were wilding, that were utterly wilding. This is learned behaviors. But that's why you as women have to instill it's your total job to instill character in your kids. Character. It's your job. It's your job to tell them that there are consequences to everything. It's your job not to put up with their bullshit. It's your job. If they are doing something they're not supposed to be doing and they are threatened with legal action, then they might have to go to jail for a couple of months. And that might stop them from continuing to do what they did. Or they do. They might just have to go to jail for 3 to 6 months. They might just have to be taken to court by a woman or two or a girl or two. And you not sitting there saying it's all right, you're going to be okay. It said, no, you need to own up and you might have to deal with this. And then it's going to be okay. We're going into the age of Aquarius. To be honest, it has never been a father's job to lead. Protect. Yeah. But it's never been a father's job to lead. The father is not the leader. The very first thing you attach to when you are coming into this world is your mother. Your mother is leading you through life. Your mother is leading you through birth. Your mother is making sure that you make it here on the other side. Your father is making sure that your mother is okay. Your mother is supported. Your mother does not have to worry about the shit that's out there on the streets because she's in here doing her job. Jupiter represents the father. Jupiter is the protector. Jupiter is not the provider. Never has been. Jupiter is the protector. Jupiter as a planet in our solar system does not provide anything to us. Jupiter protects us from getting hit by comets, by space rocks, by asteroids, by UFOs, by whatever can come crashing into this solar system and knock into us. That's what Jupiter does. Protects us from the external forces. Jupiter is not necessarily a great leader. Jupiter is wiser when they're off by themselves somewhere. When Jupiter is off by itself somewhere, contemplating the wisdom of the universe, teaching. Jupiter is a teacher. It could teach. But when Jupiter steps into the realm of leadership, oftentimes Jupiter becomes a bully or a tyrant. It rules Sagittarius. What do they call Sagittarius? I love y'all Sagittarius, but they call y'all Sagittarius, right? Because you can go over the top. You can be extreme. You know what I mean? With your mouth, with your actions, you can be extreme. An extremist. So Jupiter is a lot of things, but leader it is not. More like guide. You know what I mean? So we have to change that lie. The lie that the man is the leader. That is a lie. You've been lied to. You've been horse wobbled. You've been blah, blah, blah. That is a lie. Even when you have men in leadership, let's go back to Africa. Let's go to chiefs. You have men in leadership, right? So-called leadership. They were figureheads. Figureheads. So other people really made the decisions and spoke to the figurehead, and the figurehead got to come out and speak and say the things that were fed to him by the councils, by whomever. They're figureheads. So, Pluto in Aquarius is about getting rid of those lies that were left over from Pisces, the age of Pisces, the awakening to the truth. Think about it like this. I'm going to leave you with this. Really leave you with this. Like, it all goes back to Adam and Eve. And they say that Adam and Eve, or the devil went to Eve to deceive Adam, or whatever the case may be. Adam fell because of Eve, yada, yada, yada. But what Adam didn't do that assured me that Adam was not the leader is he didn't take accountability. So, I know a lot of you women come to me, and a lot of women go through phases of taking the blame for things that have gone on in their relationship. That part has to be healed too. So that's the first part. I was going to talk about this Trump thing. Matter of fact, let me change that picture. Can I change that picture? Yeah, I could change that picture. Here go another three of diamonds. People are like, what's going on with all these three of diamonds? Three of diamonds teach good lessons. They have an ace of spades and Mercury. You get to see it all. It's like everything that was hidden comes to the light in the three of diamonds. That's what the three of diamonds is about. All things hidden eventually come to light. That's what it means. So I found it very ironic that, and I told y'all, I was like, man, this whole damn election, everything is about black folks. It's about black folks. So it would make sense that Donald Trump will go down in a blazing set of flames to some black folks. So this man right here is Mark Robinson, the lieutenant governor of North Carolina that's running for governor. And he is a self-proclaimed black Nazi. Essentially, he is Uncle Ruckus in the flesh. Uncle Ruckus. When a lot of us think about Trump supporters, we think about Uncle Ruckus. Right? This is Uncle Ruckus. It's like you don't understand how Aquarius makes things so apparent. Aquarius is not Pisces, where you got to figure it out and it's a conspiracy. That's all that stuff lives in Pisces. Conspiracies, unclarity, confusion. Aquarius is not that. Aquarius is the bold, hardcore facts right in your face. So stop thinking of things as a conspiracy. All the conspiracy shit is dying with the Pisces age. Now, the universe is putting the bold, hard facts in your face. In your face. That's why I say, don't worry about who's racist in their head. Worry about who's racist right in your face. Who's saying it to you. Who's screaming it to you. Because we are moving out of the age of conspiracy. Everything is being revealed. Everything, repeat after me, everything is being revealed. All of y'all walking around talking about Cat Williams and what he said at the beginning of the year. Well, this is simple. Pluto moved into Aquarius, although it's moving out for a slight retrograde, but then it's going back. Everything is being revealed. It's in your face. Just like this cardology that's in your face. Cardology used to be hidden in the age of Pisces. This was hidden. You had to join a temple. You had to get initiated. You had to do this. You had to do that. You don't have to be initiated anymore to learn the truth. And to know the truth. What is in your face will be clear. There will be no confusion as to what is going on, who is what. There will be no confusion. So you have two individuals, and add his vice president candidate for 3, who have been in your face telling you how they feel about you. In your face. And you are so busy trying to look for the conspiracy. Oh, it can't be that. It has to be something else. They really like us. They really be good for us. Those other guys are the ones that you got to look at. The ones that are saying the things that they want to do and all of this. So you need to not trust them. Trust these people who are in your face. Honey, this is Aquarius. It's going to be in your face. It's not going to be hidden anymore. It's going to be all on the table. How people feel about you. The spell is broken. And I find it ironic that he could even put up a Uncle Ruckus and support a Uncle Ruckus. How many of y'all love Boondocks? Y'all love Boondocks. And it said Uncle Ruckus. And we got a real, the universe gave us, Eshu gave us a real life Uncle Ruckus. And you still don't believe it. You still don't believe it. You still don't believe that these people are trying to recapture you. Totally. You still don't believe it. Like, how much evidence do you need? How much evidence and proof do you need? But a lot of you identify with the criminal element in Donald Trump. You see yourself in Donald Trump. You want to take shortcuts in life. You think that you're owed something. You think that you're privileged. You think someone owes you. And if they don't give it to you, you're down for making them suffer. You identify with the character of Donald Trump. And that's the bold, hard truth. You identify. It's deep down within you. On the outside, you want to look like you just a regular nice individual and this, that, and the third. But deep, deep, deep down, you have the criminal element of karma. You have parts of you that want to take shortcuts. You got parts of you. You don't want order. You don't want order in this country. You want the criminal element to rule. Some of you identify with the bully aspect because you're a bully and you've been a bully in your life. Donald Trump is a bully. Anybody who would sit up in a debate or go on and rant on social media all day long, calling people names, saying you hate people and this, that, and the third, because you can't put your hands on them, is a bully. And if you notice what's sitting on the top of the spread, let's get to that. So the spread that Donald Trump is sitting on, what's sitting on the top is the Six of Spades. That is the card of karma. That is instant karma. The man has been so-called shot at twice by his own people because that's how much negativity he's putting out. These things are real. They're not faked. They're real. They're real. Because when you have a Six of Spades and you're spewing negativity, you're going to get hit with the same negativity that you're spewing out. Instant karma. And going back to character and all this other stuff, people are identifying the little money that they got because of the pandemic in different ways with this man. He gave me a little money. A little money. Instead of you getting out there and collecting the big money that's either owed you or building something that is going to build wealth for yourself. Because a lot of y'all got that little money and didn't do shit with it. Not shit. A lot of you got big money and didn't do shit with it. Nothing. Not of substance. So you got that stimulus and this, and you got the PPPs and all that other stuff, and wasted it. Looked like a fucking fool. And then they came after you. Shortcuts. You like shortcuts. And you identify that with Donald Trump. You don't identify the pandemic with him. Like literally you know what I mean? Like you don't identify that. He was a pandemic president. But you identify the money. And you're driven by all the wrong reasons in regards to money. To why this man of little character and his other little character friends, whether they're Elon Musk and you're buying the Teslas and the Cybertrucks, or whether it's and mind you, I would feel a lot better about you if you bought a Cybertruck and you didn't tell nobody. But y'all buying Cybertrucks and then advertising it to people. Advertising your support of this man. Because I'm going to be totally real. I can't stand Elon Musk, but I got a Starlink for my RV. Because when I'm in the middle of the woods or in the middle of whatever, I need internet. I bought that. I did. That ain't nothing flashy. That ain't nothing whatever for just flashy for no fucking reason. You're not buying something that you need. You're buying something that's a symbol of greed. So, a lot of shit's going on, man. It's time to speak truth and not give a fuck. That's what the Seven of Clubs eclipse was about. It's time to speak truth and not give a fuck what people think about you, or that they're not going to like you because you don't agree with them, or you ain't going to be they best whatever, or you ain't going to love Aquarius Maximus or like Aquarius Maximus anymore, because I truly don't give a fuck. I never did. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for fans. I'm here to talk to the people who are supposed to be leaders, who are supposed to be the change makers of the next age. That's who I'm here to talk to. I'm not here to talk to fans or entertain fans or do any of that shit. I'm not an entertainer. I'm not here for followers. I got people come in my inbox all the time. Well, you want to increase your follower count? You want to do... I don't give a flying fuck about followers. I care about leaders. And the people I roll with are leaders. The people who are in my classes are leaders. The people who are in my certified Cardology course are leaders. I'm training them to be leaders. I'm training them to run their own shit. To empower them to be a leader. Not to be a fan of mine. And not to be a lifelong student of mine and all this other stuff. No. I'm empowering you to be a lifelong leader. And a lifelong teacher. Don't follow me. Walk with me. Walk ahead of me. Get ahead of me. Shit. Run faster than me. I don't need this for clout. I'm a brilliant individual. Do you know how much other shit I got in my pockets? I don't need Cardology for clout. I could stop doing Cardology tomorrow all the way, and I still got 10 other things that can astound whatever. I don't need this for no clout. Just so you know that. So another announcement, some of my next apps that are coming out are likely going to be on Apple and Google, even though I don't want them to be. I tried to be independent and keep my apps independently, but I don't make enough money to do that. It is very expensive to run your own apps rather than to give it over to the beast. Because when you run your own apps, when people file chargebacks or when people forget that they have an app subscription and whatever the case may be, then you lose your processor. You lose your payment processor, and then you got no way to collect money. The system is set up so that you cannot be independent. So my coming apps, that is my relationship app, and my eKing app, the Oracle app that I'm doing for Black men, all of those are probably going to be on Apple. If not, or if I find a way that my Patreon members can have access to the apps, and then you just have to join my Patreon. And that's another way that I'm considering. So that's just one announcement for Aquarius Maximus, so I can keep the business going. And the next announcement for Aquarius Maximus, so I can keep the business going, is join my Patreon. Join my VIP level, and you have access to all my classes. I'm loading up all my classes on my VIP level. And my apps that I'm making specifically for the VIPs on my Patreon. Because I do a lot, and a lot don't pay the bills. Money does. So, at any rate, enjoy your day. And remember what I said about karma.